Hey, this is Saflevavi from LickNRF.com, and it's time for another viewer request. And in this video, we're going to learn a fingerstyle arrangement I've made especially for you guys and girls of George Michael's Careless Whisper. It's a beautiful song. First, I'm going to play the arrangement so you can see and hear how it goes, and then we're going to break it down lick by lick with tabs on the screen. We're going to learn it chord by chord, finger position by finger position, lick by lick. Before we begin, I just want to note that this lesson was purchased as a private arrangement and donated for all of us to enjoy by the private student, so thank you, private student. It goes like this. Okay, so this beautiful song is an 80s pop song. It's a little bit kitsch, but it's beautiful. Now, you may or may not be surprised to learn that there's only one chord progression throughout the song. 4 chords. That's it. A minor, D minor 7, or D minor, F or F major 7, and E minor. Now, I say 4 chords even though you can alternate between D minor and D minor 7 and F major 7, because those are practically the same chords, but they either have 3 or 4 notes to the chord. It's the same chord. So 4 chords. It's a 4-chord song. I say you may or may not be surprised because it's a pop song, so a 4-chord song, pretty obviously. But you may be surprised because this chord progression has 7 different melodies built upon it. That's pretty cool. Now, that's actually the main advantage of pop music, okay? That's why pop works so well, because the pop composers, the good pop composers, know how to build 7 or 6 or 8 or a dozen different melodies on the same chord progression. That's not so easy to do. So that's why I love this song. Alright, so let's begin. The first part, the saxophone solo, goes like this. I'm gonna play it slowly. Okay, and then you can either play it again or start the verse. Now, you start with this, okay? 5 on the B string, 5th fret, okay? 5th fret on the B string, okay? An E note, and then you slide it up, okay? But you wanna linger a little bit on the E note on 5, and then slide, okay? Don't do this, okay? Or just play the note and then slide. And then this. Now this technically is A minor add 9, but we're playing A minor and this is the melody note, so let's treat it as an A minor chord. You put your first finger on 5 and you bar it on strings 1, 2, and 3, okay? And play the open A string along with it. So that's A minor. Now you put your pinky or the 3rd finger, whichever is more comfortable for you, on 7 on the E string, okay, on the B note, and then you just play all of it. Okay, so it's 7, 5, 5, and the A string. So you play it, and then you take the pinky off and play strings 1, 2, and 3 on the 5th fret. Okay, so it's, and then you put your pinky again and you play 7, 5, 5, and 5 again. Okay, the rhythm is slightly different here, but just give it a listen and you see that it's a very, very slight difference. Okay, it's da 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 da. Okay, it's not a different rhythm as much as it's just a different way to accentuate the notes. Okay, it's, right? Just very, very slight difference. So 5 and slide, A minor add 9, okay, A minor arpeggio, then again. That's the first lick. Then the second lick is the same type of arpeggiating, only on D minor 7. So put on a D minor 7 chord on 1, 1, and 2 on strings 1, 2, and 3. 1, 1, okay, barred, and 2 on the G string, okay, and an open D string. This is D minor 7. It looks like a small F. Okay, if this is an F chord, this is a small F chord, just without this finger, without the 3rd finger, with an open D string. Okay, so you put this on and add the pinky again, or the 3rd finger, again, whichever is comfortable for you. You add the pinky again on 3 on the E string, and you play the entire chord. You take the pinky off and you play strings 1, 2, and 3. And then you do it again. 3 on the E string, D minor 7 arpeggio. Okay, so that's it. Kind of the same arpeggio on two different chords. Okay? Not too difficult. Okay, I think you'd agree. Then you put on a full F chord with the bar. Okay? And you play strings 1, 2, 3, and 6. And then you take the bar off of the E string. Okay, you have to take it off of all of the strings except for the E bass. Okay, for the bass to keep playing. Okay, to keep ringing in the background. Listen to this. Okay, it keeps playing. So you play the bass and you take the bar off, but the bass keeps playing because you keep pressing it. Okay? Now, you play the chord. You take the bar off, you play an open E string. Okay, so it's... And then you quickly put the bar back on. Okay, so it's... And then you play the rest of the strings. Strings 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so it's... Okay, now I forgot to talk about bass notes. You can add as many bass notes as you want, basically. But the basic way to do it is to play the bass note at the start of the bar and at the middle of the bar. For example. Okay? Just add another bass note. Bass, bass. Okay? Okay, at the middle of the bar. And then again. And then. Okay? The rest of the bar is empty. So that's where you want to add the bass notes. Okay? At the first beat and the third beat. Okay, so don't worry if you can't hear it yet. Okay, just play the first bass note. Just play a bass note on 1, and then after you practice the whole composition, just practice adding the bass notes. That's it. Play it from top to bottom, and then work on adding the bass notes. Okay, one step at a time. Okay, don't worry if you can't play the bass rhythm yet. So we had this, and then F. Okay, bar off, bar back on, strings 2, 3, and 4. Then the bass again. Then E minor, and you pick strings 4, 5, and 6. Okay, it's kind of an E5 for a moment there. And then you add the pinky on the 4th string on the 3rd fret. Okay, so it's... And then an open G string, then 2 on the G string with the pinky, okay, and then open B string, then 1 and 3 on the B string, then an open E string. Okay, it's just a scale. Okay, it's 2 and 3 on the D string, 0 and 2 on the G string, 0, 1, and 3 on the B string, then an open E string. Okay, so it's 2, 3, 0, 2, 0, 1, 3, 0. Okay, just ascending up the guitar. Now, where do you add the second bass? It's here. Okay, along with the B string. You can play strings 2, 3, and 4 instead of just the B string. Okay, to accentuate the E minor chord. Okay, now this lick by itself sounds really dark, but in context of the A minor scale, it works perfectly. So, we had A minor with the pinky on 7. Twice. Okay? You take the pinky off. Then D minor 7 with the pinky on 3, and then you take it off. then F, take the bar off, open E string, put the bar back on, and play strings 2, 3, and 4, then E minor, E5 at the beginning, okay, and then you start the verse, okay? So, the verse, as we said, has the same 4 chord progression. A minor, D minor 7, this time it's F major 7, then E minor. Okay? Now, just to note, when you did this, okay, the F and then the open E string, the open E string was the major 7 note. So you played F major 7 technically. Okay, so just to show you there's not that much of a difference between a major chord and a major 7 chord when played in this context. So A minor. Okay, you play the chord, strings 1, 2, 3, and 5, and then the melody is this. Okay, with the last note as the beginning of the D minor 7 shape. Okay, this note is in there. So you play A minor, okay, just the chord, then 3, 1, 0 on the B string, then 2 on the G string, and you change into D minor 7 and you play this note, the A note, 2 on the G string, and then you play the D bass. Okay, so it's, okay, you play the note and you change the finger position before the chord change. Okay, otherwise you'd have to take the note off and put it back on again, like this. Okay, and that would cut the note off, and you want note continuation. So, got it? Now, where does the second bass come in? It comes in between the 1 and the 0 on the B string. Got it? Bass. 3, 1, bass, 0. Then change the chord, play the G string, and then the D bass. Now, there's an empty space before you have to play the next lick, so you can pick the D minor 7 chord in any way you like. Okay, you come up with any picking pattern that suits you, that, you know, just your style of playing. I just like to play a couple of notes of the chord and then move on to the next lick, like this. Okay, you only have space for like 2 or 3 notes there, so you don't have to play anything fancy. Just add a couple of notes, and the next lick is this. Okay, strings 3, 2, and 3. Okay, the G string, the B string, and the G string. Okay, you're playing the chord. Okay, so it's, okay, I like to play the G string and the E string as my chord notes. Okay, you can also not play anything. Okay, you can play 2 bass notes if that's what you feel like. Okay, or you can play the chord. Okay, and then play the lick. Okay, doesn't matter what you play as long as it fits your own style and your own musical vision. Okay, it's just a chord, so come up with any way you want to play it. And that is also true for the rest of the composition. You can add picking patterns, you can add additional harmony notes, you can play the chord in any way you like. Okay? I'm going to show you options later, but first let's finish learning the melody. So, we play strings 3, 2, and 3 on the D minor 7 chord. Then we put on an F major 7 chord, which is an F chord with an open E string, okay? So we only play strings 2, 3, and 4 on 1, 2, and 3, okay? The small F, because there's no comfortable way of playing an F, a full F chord with the major 7 note, except for maybe like this, okay, with the thumb. But then you have to do this and move fingers around and cut notes off. So we're playing this F. Okay, it's the most comfortable way. So we play the chord, and then it's 1 on the E string, so you bar it. Okay, you still need your finger on the B string, so you bar it. And then the pinky on 3 on the B string. Okay? And then you take the pinky off and you play strings 3, 2, and 3 again. Okay? It's the same lick as before. It's on 2, 1, and 2 again. So it's... Okay? So it's... Now, where do you add another bass note? Okay, after 3 on the B string. Okay? Bass. Okay? Open E string, 1 on the E string, 3, bass. Then 2, 1, and 2 on the G string, the B string, and the G string. Okay? The explanation is actually a lot more complicated than playing it. It's very, very simple. Okay? Then E minor, you play strings 1, 2, 3, and 6. Then 3, 1, 0 on the B string. Then you put on A minor again, and you play strings, you play the G string on 2, and then the bass. Okay, it's the same transition we did into D minor 7. Okay, we put the chord on before we change into the chord. Okay, we put the fingers on before we play the chord. So it's... Okay, so... Got it? E minor, 3, 1, 0 on the B string. Put on A minor and play the G string on 2, and then the bass. Now the bass note starts another A minor chord, and then the lick is this. Okay? But before we play that, let's play the last 4 chords. A minor, D minor 7, F major 7, and E minor. So it was A minor, change into D minor 7, play the chord, strings 3, 2, and 3, F major 7, okay, and then strings 2, 3, 2, and 3 again, E minor, change into A minor, and then the next line begins, the next phrase. Okay, the next series of licks. The next part sounds like this. Okay, so you begin with A minor again. Okay, and this time you play this, which is the G string, 0, 1 on the B string, G string, E string. Okay? So G string, 0, 1 on the E string, G string again, E string. Okay? Then you put on D minor 7, but you don't bar the first fret, you just put your finger on the second string on 1, okay, on the B string, okay, because you need to do the same kind of lick as before. Okay, the lick starts with the same notes. So it's the G string again, 0, 1 on the B string again, and then the G string again. Okay, same lick as before, only with a D bass. And then 3 on the E string. And then you bar the first fret and you play 1 on the E string. So it's 3, 1 on the E string. Okay, instead of an open E string as was in the A minor lick. Okay, so 3, 1 on the E string. Okay, so G string, 0, 1 on the B string, G string again, 3, 1 on the E string. Okay, so together. Okay, and again, you can fill the spaces in any way you want. Okay, any way you want to pick it. I just picked down and up. That's all I did. Okay, just arpeggiating the chords. That's all. Okay, but you can find more creative ways if you want. Okay, it's up to you. It's your arrangement. Make your own arrangement. I'm just teaching you the melody and the chords. That's all I'm doing here. You be your own composer. And then F major 7 again, okay, with an open E string, but you have to bar it. Okay, so okay, it's 0, 1 on the E string. Okay, 3 times. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0 on the E string. Okay, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. I played the chord every time I played the open E string, but that was just for emphasis. You don't have to do it. You can do, okay, and play the second string on 1 at the end there for melodic purposes. Okay, you can play the chord twice. Okay, you can play the chord once and just add another bass note. Okay, you can add notes. Okay, again, be creative. Then it's the same E minor ending as in the first phrase. Okay, the same thing. E minor, 3, 1, 0 on the B string. Put on the A minor chord, play the G string, and then the next line begins with an A minor bass note. Okay, with an A bass. So the verse, let's not repeat the chords again. Okay, I'm sure you've got them. Okay, so I can't not say the chords. I'm used to that already. So A minor, 3, 1, 0, G string. Okay, change the chord. Play the chord. Again, and then E minor. D minor. 3, 1 on the E string. play it, okay, in some sort of continuous rhythm. Okay, now what I tried to show you here is that you can play it in any way you want. Okay, I've made deliberate mistakes. Okay, for example, I played one of the melodies wrong. Okay, I wanted to see if you notice. If you haven't noticed, then it means that it worked. Okay, as long as you keep going and you play the rest of the melody, there was one wrong note there. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you which one. But I just wanted to show you that you can play around with the melody a little and it will still sound good. It will still sound like the song. Okay, so one thing I did there was hammer on this note. Okay? Okay, for example. Okay, just wanted to point that out. You can play around with it. Another thing that I did was something that is my own personal style. I do it all the time. I harmonize with the lower string. Okay, for example. Okay, I harmonize with the lower string. I play the chord and then I harmonize with the G string. And then I harmonize with the D string. Okay, I always harmonize with the lower string. That's just one way of harmonizing that I particularly like, so I do it all the time. So you can do it if you want. I just wanted to point it out in case you liked the sound of it. Okay, that's one way to harmonize notes. It's an easy way to harmonize notes as long as you put the chord on. Okay, if you're not putting the chord on and you're just playing the melodies, don't use the lower string, okay? Because the lower string assumes that you're putting on the chord, the full chord. Okay, so what we have so far is this. Okay, now for the chorus. The chorus goes like this. Okay, you already played the bass. Okay? Okay, it's still A minor. This is D minor. This is F major 7, I'm gonna explain later. Okay? Now you can also play F like this. Okay? I like this version, but I really like the F major 7 sound, so you can alternate between them. Let's learn it. You put on the same A minor chord you did at the beginning, but this time the pinky is on 8. Okay, so you played this. Okay, you already played the bass note, so you play. Okay, it's 8 8 8 7 7 7 5 5. Okay, you can add the chord to all of the notes or just play the chord once in a while. Again, up to you. I like to play the chord all the time. Okay? Almost all the time. So 8 8 8 7 7 7 5 5 on the E string. Okay? Now you you can pull off from 8 to 7, okay, which sounds a little bit closer to what George Michael sings. Okay, so it's 8, 8, 8, pull off to 7, 7, 7, 7, 5. Got it? Then put on D minor. Now D minor is 5, 6, and 7 on the first, second, and third strings. Okay? 5, 6, and 7 with a D string. Okay? The open D string, the D bass. Put your pinky on 8 again, okay? And play the chord. Now the melody is 8, 5, 8, 5. Okay? Again, you can play the chord all the time. Then slide from 8 to 10, okay, on the E string. Then 8 again. Then put the chord back on and play 7 and 5 on the E string. Okay, so it's... Got it? 8, 5, 8, 5, 8 to 10, 8, 7, 5. Okay, and play the chord again with 7. So together... Now, for the F major 7, now you can put it on like this. Which is basically F5 with the major 7 note. This is F major 7, so 9 on the G string is the major 7 note. So you put on 8 and 8 on strings 1 and 5. Okay? 8 and 8 with your second and first fingers, and add the third finger to the G string on 9. Okay, you play the bass, and you play strings 1 and 3 times. Then you put your second finger instead of the first finger on the bass note and put your first finger on 7 on the E string. Okay, you just exchange fingers. Now you can either harmonize and play the G string along with the E string, or you can play the E string alone this time. Okay, and on the third E string you play the bass again. And then put the pinky on 10 on the B string. Play it twice and you can harmonize with the G string. Okay, so it's... That's one version of it, okay? That's the F major 7 version. Now you can play an F version, which is this. It's a little bit uncomfortable, okay? But some people will like this sound better. So you double bar the F chord, okay, with your first and second fingers. First finger on 8. Okay, just bar it. Second finger on 10, bar it. Okay, on strings 2, 3, and 4. So you have an F chord. Then with your pinky, you play the B string on 13, 12, and then take it off and play 10. Okay, and you can harmonize with the third and fourth strings, which are the chord. Okay, so bass. Okay, 13, 12, 10. Okay, now you can slide between 13 and 12, just like you did, just like you pulled off from 8 to 7. Okay, so it's slide it down to 12. Okay, this might take a little bit of practice. I find this extremely uncomfortable. Okay, even though I like the sound, so I prefer this. Okay, because this has less chance of buzzing notes. Okay, this is a really buzzing risk. unless you really choke the neck. Okay, so I find this extremely uncomfortable, even though it sounds really nice. So you take your pick. This is a nicer harmony in my opinion. Okay, again, both sound good. It's your choice. It's your arrangement. And then E minor, okay, and you just play this. Okay, it's open strings. It's open 2nd, 3rd, and 6th strings, and the melody is 7, 8, 7, 5, 5, 3 on the E string. That's all. 7, 8, 7, 5, 5, 3. Okay, that's it, and you can play the chord along with it, or just accentuate the chord. Okay, again, your choice. You can also play something completely different than what I play. Something like this, also a good choice. Okay, you make your own arrangement. I'm not gonna stop saying it until you do. You'll make your own arrangements. Okay, you can slide into notes. Okay, you can play it in any way you want. And then you play the whole thing again. You can either play the same E minor lick or play this. Okay, 7, 8, 7, 7, 8, 7, 8, 10, 12. Okay, 7, 8, 7, 8, 10, 12. And then you play the saxophone solo again. Okay, and then you play the verse again. Okay, that was the second A minor lick of the verse. And then you play the chorus again. Okay, so it's saxophone solo, verse, chorus, saxophone solo, verse, chorus, and then you have to end on this because the next part is the bridge. Okay, the C part. Now, the bridge here goes like this. And then again. Then it's kind of a high F. So I like to just break it down there and just stop playing. And then play the E minor chord, and then it's the chorus again. Okay? So, the bridge. It's an A minor arpeggio. Okay? Kind of an A minor arpeggio because this is the arpeggio. Okay, this is A minor, so you add this note, so you can call it like an, I don't know, an extended arpeggio, okay, or just playing a scale, or just playing an A minor lick. Okay, but it's meant to be an arpeggio. Okay, so it's 12, 10, 8 on the E string, then 8 on the B string, and you play that twice. Okay, and the second bass comes after the second 12. Okay, bass. Okay, and then you bar the 10th fret, okay, on strings 1, 2, and 3 for D minor. Okay, open D string. This is D minor because this is D minor, so you just play its top 3 notes, okay, with the open D string. So it's this, but there's a motif here, okay? It's kind of back to the arpeggiating way of the saxophone solo, so it's okay. It's hinting at the motif, okay? It creates familiarity in the ear. That's kind of a composing trick. So okay, you play this chord with 12 on the E string, then you take it off and play 10 on the E string, then you play 13 on the B string, okay, you can harmonize it with the G string, and then you take 13 off and play 10 on the B string. So it's 12-10 on the 12-10 on the E string, and then 13-10 on the B string. That's the line, and you play it twice. Okay? And again, the second bass comes after the second 12. Okay, that's it. It's bass. Okay? That's the line. 12-10, 13-10. Then you put on the F major 7 I showed you before. Okay? 8 and 8 on the 1st and 5th strings, and 9 on the G string. Okay? Fingers 1, 3, and 2. Okay, so, and you play that chord twice, and then the melody is 8, 10, 10, 8, 8 on the E string, and you can play it along with the chord. Okay, or you can play the 1st and 3rd strings and leave the bass out of it. Okay, it also works. Okay, so, and then E minor, open strings again with, okay, it's 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 8, 10 on the E string. So it's, again, you can play the chords, the chord in any way you want. No, that was too much. Okay, any way you want to pick it. Or you can just play a continuous 7. Okay? That's also a choice. Okay, and then you play the A minor arpeggio, extended arpeggio again. Then you play the D minor extended arpeggio again. Okay, let's just repeat the previous line. F major 7. Okay, 8, 8, 8, 10, 10, 8, 8, and then E minor 7. Not E minor 7, E minor with 7 on the E string. E minor 7, 8, 10. Okay, then put your first finger on 13 on the E bass, that's F, and another finger on 15 on the E string. Play them, right? And then 13 on the E string. Then 12, 10, 10, 12, and then 12 again with strings 2, 3, and 6, making this E minor again. Okay, so it's, you can slide from 10 to 12 as well. So 15, 13, 12, 10, 10, 12, 12 with E minor. Then 12, 8, okay? Then 10 pull off to 8. Then 5, 5, and 5 on strings 1, 2, and 3, making this the connection into the next chorus, which starts whatnot A minor. Okay, so again. the bass comes right along with it. Okay, so you play the A minor chord at the end there. And right away, you start the chorus again. So, then again. Okay, missed the pull off there. Then you play the chorus again, and then you play the saxophone solo again, and then you've got this. Okay, that's the next part. Okay, and then you can either fade it out or you can just end on A minor. This is the now that you're gone, okay, part. Okay, and you can play the chords in any way you want, as usual. You start again with 5, 5, and 5 on the first, second, and third strings, but this time with your fingers. And not just your fingers, with your pinky, third, and second fingers, okay? Because you need the first finger on 3 on the E string, okay? Okay, so you play. It's strings 5, 3, then the second and first strings together, and then the first and second strings together, but this time you take the pinky off and put 3 on the E string with your first finger. So it's, got it? And then you play the entire chord. Okay, you play the bass again, and then you play the chord again and play D minor 7. Okay, so it's, then you play the D bass and play the D minor 7 chord in any way you want, okay? Then you can do this, it's optional. Okay, it's 5, 3, 1 on the E string and then F major 7. You don't have to do it. F major 7 in any way you want, and then E minor in any way you want. Okay, any way you want. Okay, any way you want. I didn't play this time. Okay. You can play block chords. Okay, also works. And then the final part, this. Okay? Okay, you play this A minor again, okay? I don't have to explain it anymore. I think you got it by now. So you play the bass, and then you play the chord 3 times. Okay, and it's supposed to be a staccato feel, okay? Staccato is when the notes are separated from each other. Instead of, you play, okay, with silences between the notes. Okay? For example, this is legato and this is staccato. Now how do you do it? You just stop pressing. Okay? You press and you stop pressing and you press again. Okay? You still touch the strings but you stop pressing. Okay? You just stop pressing. Okay? And then you play it again. And then you play it again and you hammer on 7 on the E string. And then you play it again. Okay, 5. And then you hammer on the 7 again. And then 5 again. Okay? So, again, it's more complicated to explain than to play. So it's 5, 5, 5, 5, hammer on 5, hammer on 5. Okay, the hammer on is to 7. So then you do the same thing with D minor. Remember, this D minor from the chorus. You do the same thing. Okay, hammer on to 7. The bass note, of course, is the D string now. Then you put on this F major 7 shape. Okay, you bar the 5th fret. And you put the pinky on 8 on the A string, okay? You don't need to put anything else on because the B string on 5 is the major 7 note and you don't have to play anything on the D string, so you don't put this finger on, so you just put the pinky on 8 on the A string, okay? You bar the 5th fret. And then you do the same thing again, this time without the hammer on. Okay, so it's the F bass, 8 on the A string, and then okay, 5, 5, 5, and then 7 with your 3rd finger, 7, 5, 7, 5. 5, 5, 5, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5. And then E bass, 7 on the E string, and then 8, 7, 8, 7. 7, 7, 7, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7. Okay, and then you play it again. Okay, by the way, you can hammer it on. Okay, but it takes a little bit of practice. Okay, and you can hammer on the 8. Okay, fade it out. Okay, play it lower and lower and lower and lower until it's faded out. Or you can end on A minor on 5. Okay? So before you go, practice this. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I've got a ton of lessons. I take requests. And you can go download the tab from the website. It's for free. Everything is for free. But if you want to give something back to Lick and Riff, there's a donation button there, and you can give anything you want. I'd be very grateful for any donation whatsoever. Everything goes back into Lick and Riff, into making these arrangements, making these lessons, filming them, editing them, uploading them. It all takes time and work. So I thank you in advance for any donation you choose to make. Now, you go practice this. Get it on your fingers. This is a pretty beautiful song, and I think I did pretty well with the arrangement. So you go make your own arrangement, enjoy this, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you the next lesson. Go enjoy this.